also done some other business to business sales as well. But what I found, especially when you're working from home or working for yourself, it's best to take a lot of notes, right? So you want to make sure that you can kind of dial in exactly how many calls you need to take. You can chart, you can manage yourself and see how well you're doing, if you're doing better, doing worse. And the only way that you can do that is to really chart it and to take notes. Okay, so first of all, you definitely want to chart the amount of calls you make, right? So you can see what your conversion rate is. How many calls does it take to get a sale? So you always want to chart all of the calls that you take. I mean, it's as simple as if you're using a dialer, it's going to count them for you. If you are, if you're dialing by hand, then just tick them off one by one. Talk time on the phone. So what I mean is not just a session of just sitting down. You basically want to measure the amount of time you're actually talking on the phone. That way you can see how effective you are and how much you'll notice it's a direct correlation. The more time that you're actually talking on the phone, it will directly relate to more sales. This will allow you to figure out how many sales or your conversions, right? So you want to mark down how many sales you have, and your conversion percentage is how many sales you make for how many calls that you have to take to make those sales. Mark down how many appointments that you set. If it's a sales process that you're doing where you have to set an appointment, maybe to go out and see them face to face, or if you're setting up appointments or actually getting to the next step, you're setting up a follow-up call. That would be something that you want to mark down. How many calls did I make? How many sales did I make off the first call? How many calls did I actually set up a follow-up call? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And what this will allow you to do is allows you to reverse engineer your numbers, right? So it'll allow you to discover that you need to make X amount of follow-up calls, which will take X amount of cold calls to actually get the amount of sales that you need. And it's just a numbers game. So you'll be able to break it down to, you'll actually get it down because it is a numbers game, and you'll be able to dial in, like, I need to make 150 calls if I want to be at the income level that I'm expecting. Maybe 150 calls relates to 10 sales for you or to 7 sales for you. And you'll know that that's what you need to make. And it's also helps you with your kind of reluctance your fear of calling, because you know that if I need to make 150 calls to be where I need to be, I need to sit down and make these calls, right?